Otep, I am that I am. Some call me Heru, your modern monk, your cannabis fitness strategist, back at it again, here for you with another episode 64. Yes, number 64, a slave. Ooh, that brother hit him off. A slave. That's a driver too. A slave. Number 64, moving and keeping it moving. I want to give a shout out to everybody who's actually subscribed, everybody who's tuned in, everybody who's tuned up to the greatest podcast on earth, on this planet, in the atmosphere. You feel me? With your host, the most, the modern monk, Heru. About to bring it to you real hard, kind of open up some things, but I want to thank you personally, and I'm grateful for you, and I hope, and I definitely hope, I'm sounding like Obama now. I hope. Ain't no hope no more. You just take the time to tune in for a few minutes. Give me your ear. Lend me your ear as we get deeper into the concept of a slave. Number 64. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, follow me. You can reach me at particularly a few different podcast venues. I was kind of surprised, but I'm on Apple. I'm on Google Podcasts, Podbean. They got me on Spotify. Amazon, I'm on Amazon Music. And in the making, I got Alexa and TuneIn. Actually, TuneIn and Alexa. Just subscribe to my podcast show. So if those of you who are looking to get on a great podcast show, that actually is going to push you. Actually going to wake you up. Actually going to allow you to think. That's the point here. I allow you to think. I allow you to engage, if that's what you want to hear, because a slave does the opposite. Well, yeah, the slave does the opposite. He tune into everybody else's, I guess, the media, the mass media of what they've been giving us, all this negative energy and telling us what to do and how to follow and look and like and be and this, that. Hey, I like to be fake. So when I talk to somebody, I'm fake. I'm phony. You remember how they used to hit brothers up perpetrating. He's a perpetrator. He's pulling pranks. My uncles used to say pulling pranks, pulling capers. Y'all remember that? Well, maybe y'all don't remember that, but those of you who's down with the slang. Who's down with the slang? Pulling capers. They over there pulling capers over there. You feel me? Bizarre, mizza, tizza. But we're going to get right into it. A slave. Now, let's get right on the just a balance beam here and kind of utilize this trapezials. That brother making up words and everything over here. But we having a little fun. Just got done. Just got back from my walk. I usually walk a good 11 miles once a week and kind of get my exercise in that way. As well as I did a hell of a workout this morning. I did about 250 reps, just push-ups. And then after that, it was kind of interesting. I was feeling so good. I said, let me get me some more dips or get me some ab workout in there and some pull-ups. So I ended up doing some pull-ups. Then I went for my walk and remind you, about 11 to 12 miles. Usually 11 to 12 miles. I usually walk I walk all the way to Waikiki Beach from where I'm located. And so I get there. I get to the calisthenic park. And I said, okay, I'm feeling pretty good. Let me go ahead and start out with some muscle ups. So I did about 9 muscle ups till my cell phone fell out of my pocket and fell all on the ground. And then I went into some other different modalities or different workouts or exercises in the park. And you know, some cases you show off. When you're outside, it seems like you show off because you got nature watching you. You gotta feel like that. That's how I feel. You got nature watching you, so it's keeping you up on your P's and Q's, so you want to perform the best you can. And that's how you should be in life anyway, performing on all levels. 1 billion%, right? 1 billion%. And we're going to talk in this next episode, episode 65. I'm going to talk about vision. And I want to break down some things that I think we have not been paying attention throughout our little cycle upon this plane, as we know as Mother Earth, as we know as planet Earth, as Gaia, and many other names she has been given. But we're talking about a slave. Now, what is this slave I'm talking about? Now, once upon a time, we know through history, as it's been told, you know, in your history books, or the history books that has been given to us in these institutions. And it's interesting because we call our brothers from prison institutionalized. You know what I'm saying? And we're all institutionalized to an extent. When I'm talking about, when I bridge the gap and call us a slave or a sheep, right? Sheeple. The mindset, the understanding of what's going on. So what is slave? What is this term?
Slave.
What is this term?
Slave.
Okay, let's get into it. A person who is the legal property of another and is forced to obey them. Can I let me reiterate that. Can I just repeat that? A person who is the legal property of another and is forced to obey them. Bondservant, bondsman, vessel, a helot, blackbird, and then the opposite is free man or master. Then the verb aspect of it is work excessively hard. You feel that? The slave work excessively hard. Man, that sounds pretty interesting, because that sounds pretty accurate with the going to these jobs and working hella hard. But you know how you got these millennials, they got it so good now where they don't even show. They're not even good at acting working hard. They like straight up. And that's why I wonder what the percentage of millennials getting fired from the workplace. Interesting enough. That's just something I'm just kind of curious. But work excessively hard. After slaving away for 14 years, all he gets is $2,000. Grind, sweat, labor, work one's fingers to the bone, sweat blood, gas, bullock, dredge. Whew, I'm telling you, slave. Now, this is a cold mentality. So instead of using a slave, I'm going to use a sheep. Now, we talk about this a few times. And like I said, this is the only podcast who's not going to be bleeped out. And I'm not going to be asking, taking stuff back either. You know what I'm saying? Oh, forgive me for saying this and saying that and all this other stuff. No, everything that's coming out my mouth is coming out my mouth for a reason. You feel me? And yeah, some cases, some things are not to be said, but told or done. Because it is by your actions. That's what we're talking about here, by your actions. Now, when I speak a slave, now we know throughout history, this particularly a particular culture, a particular society, a particular people was so-called under slavery, if that existed. I don't know. I wasn't there. According to the books, they say the winners write the books, right? The winners write the books. The winners, the successful ones write the books. You know what I'm saying? Those who actually lived through it, they didn't live through it, but they did have some things that were said. We do know about Nat Turner. We do know about Frederick Douglass. We do know about certain iconic people that they have embedded within this particular form of conditioning, known as slavery, known as sheeple, as being a slave. Even though the funny thing is, we opt in to becoming a slave soon as we're born, right? Social security number, chattel, literally all these particular terms are based up under this slave mentality or definitions that they have created with this legalese or particular focus within the status quo. Even though they allowed the African Americans, so-called African Americans, if that was the case, you know, because I'm still on the rockage, far as even with the Holocaust and all this other stuff. These are the things that we've been told. We was born into this particular era or time period. We wasn't born during that period of time, so we don't know. We really don't have an account of what events have really truly went on, even with the Jesus and Buddha and all these other different iconish people that we idolize or worship. So these are things that I think we all should be questioned in general. I'm not claiming that I got all the answers, but I do have some questions that I think that has not been answered throughout our culture, throughout our society, throughout our way of life, because we call ourselves intelligent, but we seem like we're intelligent slaves. And why are we thinking more of that we need a leader, or that we need a president or a king or any type of so-called leadership? Think about this for a minute. Think about that for a minute. What makes you think that we need a president? The world is going to go chaos. They're going to be chaotic. It's already chaotic. It's off the chain, people. It's literally off the chain. When you walking down the streets of Hawaii, see, and this is the reality of Hawaii too, because people really ignore the reality of shit. You feel me? Because you're in a car, okay, you could pass up all the homeless and this and that, so you don't really know the story. You feel me? I'm a walker. I appreciate walking. I appreciate being connected with the people. You feel me? So I can feel the energy of the people. They talk about this aloha spirit. That aloha spirit hasn't been here for decades. Literally, you see it. You see it with the corruption of the police officers, what they're doing, how they got these people so conditioned. Literally, people are so conditioned. Why do you think diabetes is so high in Hawaii? You feel me? People are just stagnant. They're not doing anything. They're not saying all the people, but majority of the people out here look unhealthy, feel unhealthy, feel unappreciated. You feel me? Literally. And this is not just Hawaii. This is everywhere. This is going on everywhere. And this is the point of the slave mentality, or the servant mentality, or the sheep mentality. We've forgotten about the lions. We've forgotten about the Malcolm X's, about the Martin Luther Kings, about the Gandhis. You know, even the Hitlers. Keep it real with you. Even the Hitlers. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because we demonize certain people because they didn't approve of certain methods or certain conditioning. But then at the same time, I can understand. Even like the great Castro. You feel me? Man, the things he have done for his people. Literally, and we talk about, it's funny how the American people are so-called North American, the USA, the United States of America, or the Unity States, or United States, or what was it called? Union States. That's what it was. The Union States prior to United States of America, and that flag that we so-called push up and think and get, oh yeah, this is proud to be. But everybody was a slave up under that flag too. Uh-oh. Even that Confederate flag. So it don't really matter which flag is hanging up. They both have both have some issues. But I'm proud to be American. I'm proud to be American. So this is another thing. We talk. At once upon a time, that term or that even saying was actually something to be proud of. But now when you look at the homework, when you do your due diligence, when you start paying attention to this government or this government body, you have to start asking some questions. Where did we stray off? Where did we go wrong? Where did we give this government more of a power or a force to be reckoned with. Because as far as I know, in the history of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of this United States of Americans, he was saying, hey, y'all better check y'all paper. Don't be giving this government all this power, because they going to leave you broke. They going to leave you they going to leave you straight up in slavery. You thought we was in slavery when we was back in the 1700s. They going to have y'all looking crazy. But y'all going to have a car. Y'all going to have 2 cars. Y'all going to be in a nice house. You know, but you're going to be locked down in your own home. Because you got Alexa. You got Google, Cyrus. You got the smartphone, so you can get everything and anything. You got Prime, Amazon Prime. You got eBay. People, you got Walmart. Now you got Home Depot. Come on, we need to check some things. We need to check our due diligence. We need to start doing our due diligence, slaves. Slaves, one of the things about slaves, they're going to do what's told, right? They're going to do what's told. And this government tell us anything and everything, and we follow by it. I want you to wear a mask outside every day. I want you to go get a shot. So you won't get the vaccine. You won't, well, you getting so-called a vaccine, but you're going to end up getting the COVID because we giving you the COVID. And we're going to see how your body responds to the COVID, because we know your respiratory system is just already compromised. Your immune system is already compromised. Because we know you're not working out. We know you've been sitting around for, what, 6 months? 6 months, you've been sitting around 6 months chilling, thinking you don't got the COVID, getting all fat and plumped, you know, not even working out, watching all the Netflix. Netflix is loving it. They making so much money they never seen in their lives. I'm going to smoke to that one. All these big ass corporations, literally even the small corporations like the Twitter once upon a time, now they're like big massive companies dictating what, when, where, you know, putting limits on you, telling you what you can and cannot do, what kind of content you can put up and what kind of content you can't put up. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole key thing of ownership or controlling shit. That's what it is, controlling shit. You know what I'm saying? Not just owning it, but controlling it. It's yours, regardless of what they say, what they do, how they get down. This is the problem we're having today. We stay a slave, we understand slavery, and we keep as a slave. That's why they keep promoting slavery within your so-called curriculums. Oh yeah, they want you to know. But think about it. If you didn't know about slavery, you probably have more unlimited opportunities than ever before, because your mind is not caught up in the glass ceiling, right? Women, feminine movement, all these other crazy ass movements that we don't even understand, but we just throwing it out there. The gay movement, all this stuff. But at the same time, it's like people don't even know how to play their part. Play your part. Everybody's not going to agree with all the shit y'all talking about with all these movements. I get it, right? It's about separation, period. Just like I think Honorable Elijah Muhammad had it right. Separation. If you want to do this, you go do that. Handle your business. Just like all the prisoners, I think all prisoners should go to war. Make them part of the military. Then they could probably figure out, okay, I'm not going to be fucking around shooting, killing motherfuckers, right? So you're really putting them in a situation where they're going to have to think. You're going to have to take more charge of who you are, your due diligence. I love you, folks. I truly do. But at the same time, this unconditional love, it does have boundaries, my people. It does have boundaries. We do have principles up in this motherfucker. And if we're not living with these principles, we're going to stay a slave, we're going to be a slave, and we're going to love to be a slave. Like the brother say, Master, I go to the back door, and he going to still keep going to the back door. That was my brother, Woodson. Carter G. Woodson. That brother said they're going to just keep going to the back door. And that's what everybody has conditioned themselves to. Black, white, green, yellow, purple, all of us. Period. You know what I'm saying? And the funny thing is like we thinking we can play a part of their game. Okay, let's run for president. Let's run for vice president. Let's run for these positions. Look, when the system is set up to be a slave, you feel me? When the system is set up for you to be a slave, what you think you're going to be acting like? You know you fucked up, don't you? You know you fucked up, don't you? This is the understanding of what's going on. Slaves love to be slaves. No question about that. If you're getting any value from these podcast shows, share it with your brothers, your sisters, your mamas, your grandmas, grandpas, everybody, uncles, nephews, nieces. Let them hear this. Let them get an eye opener. Let them know that it's somebody out there really talking some real talk, communicating with people, interacting with people, acting on what I'm talking about here. My loved ones, my beloved. Water drink, water break. Wealth is the middle name. We all have the opportunity to wealth. We all have the opportunity to become the master, not the slave anymore. Don't you think you've been a slave just too much? 2020, this is the year. Change all that. It's time to get back to the mastery, as Anthony Robbins would say. The mastery in mind, body, soul, finances. Come on and join me as we take over the mind, the body, the soul, the finances. Taking ownership of who you really are. Stop allowing this so-called 1%, whoever the elite or however you want to phrase them. I really don't give a fuck about them because they're not really doing nothing for us. And they're not doing nothing for me. This is why it's key to get more control or get more understanding of your finances. Because when you got more understanding of your finances, your family and everything will start falling in place. The priorities will be more clear. Like I told you, the next episode we talking about vision. And I'm going to go into some things that I think a lot of us don't even pay no attention to. Period, point blank. But I love you. So I'm going to hit you hard. And look, I'm a witness. I'm living it. I'm going through it. My relationships I've been having with females and friends and fellow friends and this and that. Yeah, they've been compromised because the vision is not there. Or no vision. It's only about what I need to be doing right now. Instead of what I can be doing right now to take it to the next level. Building skills. We lazy. You know the slave was pretty lazy. Even though he was overworking himself and doing this and doing that. Built a whole country for people. Built a whole world for people. Literally. And we're doing the same thing. Nothing has changed. I made a song called High Class Slavery. Some of you might have heard it back in the day. High class slavery. That's what's going on right now. You know when they changed this particular setup to create an illusion that slavery was over or the physical slavery was over? 1860. That's when everything changed. All the principles have changed. Everything got thrown out. Because you know what? All the greats were gone. All the greats were done. Everybody else was, the only brother who was really bucking the system was Abraham Lincoln. And they killed him. Matter of fact, that is one thing I want to go back into and read on. Who was actually during that period of time with Abraham Lincoln. I know Robert E. Lee. I know he was in part of that situation. But other so-called heroes, people that they don't really talk about, who was a big part of it. Kind of like they be talking about Paul Revere, even though really Paul Revere didn't have really nothing to do with the situation, and that can be debatable too. But at the same time, it's an understanding what's going on. When you have a slave mentality, you know what? You act like a slave. You feel me? Just like a lion. A lion acts like a lion. A lion is not going to be like, oh, the lamb looks pretty good there. I'm just going to let him live. No, he going to eat his ass up. Period, point blank. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this so-called 1% is thinking. Or whoever you want to call them. However, the Illuminati, whatever. I don't give a fuck. You can call them whatever you want. But they don't give a fuck. They don't care. They put these people in position. The Donald Trumps, the Obamas, the Bushes, the Clintons, and all these other fictitious people that they put up in these positions. They're all playing a part, people. And how come you not paying attention that you really think your vote is doing something? Truly. Please go do the homework and really see, this is another thing. Follow your vote. I challenge you to follow your vote to really see if your vote is actually being implemented within this particular structure. Because I guarantee your vote is not being heard, period, point blank. And then this brother, Snoop Dogg, oh man, God bless his soul. He finally voted for the first time ever. See, this shows you the agenda. This government is playing with your mind, your body, your soul, and your money. Because you know the biggest player in the vote is your money. And you know what? I guarantee you why they want you to go vote. Because every vote probably got a dollar bill connected to it. A certain amount of money connected to it. So all them votes that come in, they probably make that money for them at the Treasury. Or the Feds probably come up with some... or the IRS come up with a system where they get a bonus. Whoever wins that office. I guarantee you, folks. I'm telling you. We are being played. In that great movie, Trading Places. Go watch that. Eddie Murphy's classic, Trading Places. Go watch that. And this is what's going on daily in our politic world. And I forgot the other movie he did when he was a politician. And his name was Jackson. Ooh, I'm telling you, a slave. Wow. and we don't get it. I think we just abide by what has been going on. Be called a slave, be called a sheeple. Oh, the people. The people. The sheeple. The masses. Follow the slave following a slave. That's what's going on. And I'm going to leave it there. If you're getting any value, holla at me. Comment. Let me know what's up. Because I know this got you. 206-659-6382. youarethegym@gmail.com. youarethegymlive.com. I got t-shirts. Black and white tees. I got to get another order in, but we definitely going to get you straight. I got some flags too. You Are the Gym flags. I'm going to be posting that here in the next couple of days shortly. So those of you who want to get the flags, implement them, put them all over the country. Let them know what's up because you are the gym. Matter of fact, I want to just throw this in there. I had a clerk ask me today, where's that gym located? I said, that gym, You Are the Gym. She was referring to my t-shirt I had, You Are the Gym, and my face mask, You Are the Gym. I said, the gym is wherever you want it, sister. Wherever you deem to fit. You are the gym. You are the essence. You are the master.